Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 16th of February and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Guys, in the today's video, we will be taking up the entire analysis of the Hindu newspaper and will also be seeing if there are some relevant articles from the Indian Express Explained section. And that explainer PDF that I will be using here, you can download the PDF from the Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. Now, first of all, let's see the overview of the newspaper to understand that which articles will be important for our examination. So here we can see that the Hindu newspaper, and in Hindu newspaper there is a text and the context section that has been given. Now in the text and the context section, the first article is talking about questioning the ban on online gaming platforms. So recently the Karnataka High Court has given the ruling into this particular direction. So we'll be seeing this particular article. Then further moving on, the fate of Afghanistan reserves in the United States. So guys, basically what has happened in basically there is the money of Afghanistan that has been frozen by the USA. Now the USA had said that this money will be given to the victims or the families of the 9/11 attack that had happened. So this article is saying that why it will be divided, how it will be divided, and whom it will be divided, and all such kind of things. With respect to the examination, nothing very much important is there into this article. Then guys, the second page of the text and the context. Now this article is talking about the exploiting the Chinese exit. Now basically this article comes from the archives section, that is these are the old articles that have been published. Now guys, this particular article is a 2-year-old article, 2020 article, when there was the ban on the Chinese apps that was imposed by the government. Now guys, basically article with respect to the examination, now much of a substance has not been there. Okay, now moving on, the Hindu newspaper, this is the page number 1. Now the first page, Russia says some troops pulling back from areas near Ukraine. So guys, this particular development we are going to see, anti-lynching bill passed by 4 states hanging fire. We'll see this article with respect to the constitution. Then the export rise 25% to these many billion dollars. Now every month's data is not very much important for our examination. Just the state of Indian economy and the patterns that are emerging, they are important. Okay, after that, moving on, India slams communal mindset of OIC, fine, that is the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So they have expressed the concern against this hijab controversy that is going on, and India had slammed that they have nefarious agenda and all such kind of things, but not very much important. Then further moving on into the region city section, nothing very much important has been given. However, this particular article, crowdfunding portal awaits CSR push, this article is important. We'll see it with respect to the GS2 and GS4. Then after that, moving on into this particular direction, and then guys, we will be reaching to the editorial section. And in the editorial section, the first article here, the pathology of school closure in India. So a Perry approach has been mentioned here, we'll be seeing here. Then setting right the focal point of J&K tribal politics. So some of the important points are there, we'll see in this article. Then the game and banning, so it is again talking about the Karnataka High Court's recent ruling, we'll see this. Then this article is talking about the suspension of the table tennis federation. Now with respect to the examination, much of substances not there in this article. Then why we need ventilation and air purifiers, very generalistic kind of article, not very much important with respect to the examination point of view. Then the importance of the caste data. Now guys, this article is talking about why the caste data is important. We'll see this particular thing. Okay, then further moving on, after that guys, in this particular direction, here we see India may come under pressure on Russia. So with respect to the Ukraine and Russia, fine, this entire issue will be taking up. Then further moving on, assembly polls. Okay, so this article is talking about the this article is just talking about the political developments that have been there. Nothing very much important in this particular direction is there. India to make digital maps of all the villages. So this particular development we are going to see. Then further, where is the Ukraine crisis headed to? So we'll see this particular article. Then rising number of cases in tsunami, etc. Not important for the exam. Then on to the business page, Sensex rebounds, fine, the corporate trends, etc. Such kind of things have been given. Much of the articles important to the Indian economy has not been there. Then we have the sports page. So this is all about the overview of the today's articles. And now let's see all these articles which are important one by one in the detail. Now, as we start in every class, we'll be starting with the GS quote. So today we'll be taking the quote from the Albert Camus. So Albert Camus, he says that democracy is not the law of the majority, but the protection of the minority. So democracy is not about what the majority wills, rather it is about how the protection or how the regard to the minority communities is to be given. Now this particular idea can be utilized in GS paper number 2 as well as the GS paper number 4 along with the essays. So that is all about the GS quote. Now I believe that it is a very impactful quote. Please do note it down. Now moving to the next article. Now moving to, first of all, the MCQ answers for the last session, that is from the 14th of February that we have taken. So the correct answer for the first question will be B, and the correct answer for the second question will be C. You can see the explanation here. You can just pause the video or you can download this PDF from the Telegram. Now moving on, taking up the MCQs. Okay, so we will be taking the first MCQ. It is about with respect to the match the following 7 directives of Supreme Court, Malimat Committee and HRC recommendation. You need to match them. Okay, please identify the correct pair here. Now after that, moving on, consider the following statement regarding the drones rules 2021. Recently they were into the news, we have already discussed them. Please read the statements and identify the correct incorrect option. Fine. So these are the questions. And now guys, taking up the first article. Okay, so okay, let's take certain comments that have been there. Okay, by the way, good morning to everybody. Good morning everybody. Okay sir, why voting in India is set to 18, why not 15 or 16? Okay Manoj Kumar, see, basically a person attains the majority at the age of 18. He develops the cognitive abilities by which he can make well meaningful choices. Adulthood is attained at the age of 18 years. So therefore the age is 18, not 15, not 16, because at that point of time a person is minor. Okay, so that's it. Sir, in MCQ of 12th Feb, question 1 statement will be correct as only repo rate policy rate is announced by the Reserve Bank of India, while reserve repo rate, bank rate and MSF are linked to the repo rate with a formula. Answer given in PDF says, okay Arjun, I will look into that particular matter. Right now I don't have that access of that particular question. I will look into that matter. Okay, now taking up the first question. Okay, so here guys, what we have done, we have actually clubbed the 2 articles, one from the editorial section and other from the text and the context section of the Hindu newspaper, and both of these articles will be important with respect to the GS paper number 2. GS paper number 2, issues related to the fundamental rights as well as the constitutional developments. Fine, so we are now going to see. Before going into this particular article, let's take the background. Okay, so guys, what the background is there, basically recently what has happened, the Karnataka, they had banned the online gaming. Okay, why they had banned the online gaming? Because it has been said that these online games, they are addictive in the nature, and many a times many of the online games, they also have an element of betting where the people are putting the money on the stake, and many a time they lose that money. Because of that, the people are committing the suicides, and it is leading to a large many of problems. So the online gaming was banned in the Karnataka. Because of this particular ban, guys, there was a petition that was made into the Karnataka High Court. Now what Karnataka High Court has done, Karnataka High Court has said that this online ban that was imposed, it was arbitrary, it was irrational, and they had removed this particular ban. Now this is not the first time that such kind of thing has happened. Last year in Tamil Nadu also, the online gaming on the online betting, it was banned. Okay, after that particular thing, the Madras High Court intervened in this particular matter, and they said that this particular ban was arbitrary, irrational. So last year Tamil Nadu was there, this year the Karnataka has been there. So guys, this entire controversy with respect to the online betting, online gaming, and this entire controversy becomes important. So this entire issue now we are going to understand here. See, first of all guys, when we talk about the recent issue, what had happened, you can just see here that the regulation on the betting and gambling was brought into the Karnataka. Okay, last year the Madras into the Tamil Nadu, the same thing has happened. Now first of all, when we talk about the betting and when we talk about the gambling, you need to understand 2 of the terminologies that are there. One are the games of chance, and other are the games of skill. Games of chance are there, and the second one are the games of skill. Is it clear? Games of chance and games of skill. Now guys, games of chance are basically certain kind of games where there is no application of mind is there, no strategy works. Clear? Now the games of chance are something on which we bet, and the betting on the games of chance can be controlled. But at the same time, there are the games of skill. Now the games of skill are certain games where you can use your mind, you can use your permutation combination, you can use certain strategies, and you can predict the outcome. Now basically, for example, the games that are online there, for example, cricket fantasy, okay, online rummy is there, and all such kind of things. What you will be calling them? Will you call them game of chance, or will you be calling them games of skill? See, if you call them the games of chance, then it is nothing but a kind of a gambling. It is nothing but a kind of a gambling, and here the restriction or the control can be brought. But if they are the games of skill, then they will not be considered under the purview of the gambling, and games of skill can be allowed. The Supreme Court has already ruled into this particular direction. What the Supreme Court has done? Supreme Court back has ruled that the games of skill can be allowed, games of chance cannot be allowed. Now the problem that comes here is that the state government, whenever they are passing the law and when they are banning these online platforms, these online games, they are saying that they are just addictive in nature, number one, and number two, they involve a game, they involve a component that they are the games of chance, and therefore we are removing them. But in the last year, the Madras High Court, and this particular year the Karnataka High Court, both have said that no, what you have made as the games of chance, they are not the games of chance, they are the games of skill. And because the games of skill can be allowed by the Supreme Court observation, this particular ban is arbitrary. Now guys, when we see that why this particular ban has been brought, so into the past, the social activists, okay, the government officials, and many of the people, they have said that these online games like rummy, poker, they are number one, addictive in nature. Number two, as the money component is involved into these particular games, many times the youngsters, they are taking the loan to play these games, and then when they lost the money, there comes the depression, mounting debts, and people, they commit the suicide. So therefore they are bad, they are creating a social disorder. Fine. Moreover, it has been provided that basically these online games, they are also susceptible to manipulation. Now how the susceptible to manipulation? When a person is playing, let's say, the online poker, he is actually not playing with some real person. He might be playing with the computer, he might be playing with the bots, and winning against the bots, winning against the computer is not possible. So the game is actually very much unfair, and you cannot use your skill here. It is just a scheme where people are losing their money. So this particular thing has happened. Now guys, the Karnataka High Court, it has struck down the amendment where the ban was imposed. What are the grounds due to which the Karnataka High Court has struck down this? So guys, there were the three major grounds. Let's understand all of these grounds one by one. First, it was said that basically here the violation of many of the fundamental rights have happened. Number one, the violation of trade and commerce. Basically, the agencies which are, or the companies which are running these apps, they have the fundamental right of trade and commerce. When you have banned them, those companies' right of trade and commerce have been lost. Second, it has been said that there is a right of liberty, privacy. Now every person, a person, if he is playing the games, it is his matter of right to liberty, okay, it is his matter of privacy, that what he wants to do in the leisure time, you cannot simply control the person. Then basically playing this game is just a way to express yourself, okay. So for freedom of speech and expression has also been violated. Secondly guys, it has been said that this particular entire law was arbitrary. Why this law was arbitrary? Because it has been said that the Karnataka had failed to make a distinction between the two different categories of game. I already told you, there are one, the games of skill that are there, and other, the games of chance that are there. Now guys, whenever the games of chance are there, they can be played. The Supreme Court has already ruled into this particular thing. Moreover guys, it has been provided that that games where substantial effort, knowledge, and skill is required are different from the games of mere luck or chance. You can regulate them, but not the games of but the games of skill can be allowed. Now guys, it has been provided that actually there is one more problem. The Karnataka government, the state government, they did not came out with any evidence or data Clear that how this particular ban will be helping. Just they banned this particular online game. So without any evidence, without any data, it is just a kind of an arbitrary ban. Fine, neither they even nor even they constituted the committee of experts to study this particular issue. So therefore it was irrational. So therefore it has been basically a stay has been imposed on that. Now further, the court has also provided that playing the online games help in building the character, okay, and moreover, as the person enjoys playing these games, there his right to liberty and privacy will also be tempered. So therefore we are removing this. Now in the past, many other states has also come out with such kind of a law. I already told you that Tamil Nadu came out with such a kind of a law, but it again was basically removed. It was removed by the Madras High Court. Now in this particular direction, the Telangana, it was the first state to ban the online games in 2017. But what happened after the banning? This entire gaming activity turned illegal, and underground gambling apps developed. And what happened? They started receiving the money through the Hawala channels, through the dummy companies. Is it clear? And the enforcement directorate as well as the local cybercrime authorities have not able to control the underground activity that started there after 2017. So therefore outrightly banning these apps might not be the long lasting sustainable solution. So this is all which has been provided into this particular article. So that is all, guys, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now understand, this is a kind of a broader issue that we are now going to take up. India may come under pressure on Russia. Where is the Ukraine crisis headed to? And there is one more article that came on the page number 1 of the Hindu newspaper. In the today's overview, I have already shown you. So all these articles will be clubbing here. And this particular article, you can look under the purview of the GS paper number 2 International Affairs. GS paper number 2 International Affairs. Now let's understand that, guys, what is going on right now. Okay, so many a times we have seen this particular thing that the Russia-Ukraine crisis is going on. Russia-Ukraine crisis is going on. Now let's guys, first of all, focus onto this particular map. Okay, now first of all, okay, as you can see this particular map. Now guys, here we can see that first of all the blue countries, these are the NATO members. Now the NATO means the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now under the NATO, the USA is the major player. Now NATO is a military alliance. The basic position of the NATO is that if any one country will be attacked, that then all the NATO members will take it that all have been attacked and all will be coming together and will be protecting that country. So you see that the Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, okay, Germany, all of these countries in the blue, they are the NATO members. Now guys, here we see the Russia. Now Russia is not obviously a NATO member, because in the NATO the America is there, and Russia obviously will be disliking this particular NATO grouping. Russia is very opposed to this NATO grouping that is there. Now along with the here you have the Russia, and here we can see that there is a Ukraine. Clear? Now the Ukraine makes the border with the Russia. Clear? Now guys, here basically this particular region, it is Crimea. This particular region is Crimea. Now what had happened? The Crimea, okay, it is a very important strategic location into the Black Sea, and Black Sea provides the water connectivity. Black Sea provides the connectivity to the Russia as well as to the Ukraine. Now guys, Russia believes that the Ukraine is a very strategic location. If Ukraine will become more pro-West, if Ukraine will become the member of NATO, what will happen? The Russia's strategic interest will decline. Now Russia, what had happened? Russia in 2014 has actually annexed the Crimea. Now the Crimea was the part of Ukraine before 2014, but in 2014 this Crimea was annexed by the Russia, because Russia believed that the Crimea is strategically very, very important for the Russia. Now after this particular thing happened, the relation between the Ukraine and Russia, they became bad. And because of this particular thing, now what had happened from the past few years, actually the Ukraine is considering that it might become the member of the NATO. Now the moment the Ukraine will become the member of NATO, obviously Russia's strategic interest will get impacted, because NATO will just come in the neighbor of the Russia. So always the Russia had said this particular thing to the Ukraine, that if you are considering joining the NATO, then we will invade the Ukraine. Is it clear? Now the West is saying to the Ukraine that you join the NATO and we will impose the sanctions onto the Russia if Russia will do anything. Now what has happened, basically this particular entire situation has developed into a very intricate position where every day it is being expected that the Ukraine will join the NATO, and the moment Ukraine will join the NATO, what will happen, the Russia will invade the Ukraine. Moreover, it has been said that even the Russia can preemptively also invade the Ukraine so that altogether it can avoid the joining of the NATO. This particular thing is going on. Now the USA repeatedly they have said that they have even given the dates, okay, that on this date Russia will be attacking, on this date Russia will be attacking. Now recently also it was said that Russia will be attacking, a date was given. But guys, actually certain developments have happened into this particular region. Development number one, the USA was very much convinced that the Russia is about to attack, but what Russia did, Russia removed many of their troops from the Ukraine. Russia removed many of their troops from the Ukraine, and it looks that okay, Russia might be adopting a soft stand onto the Ukraine. Is it clear? Now, why the Russia had removed the troops from the Ukraine? The reason is that, guys, what had happened recently, first of all, if you have following the newspaper analysis, we have just seen that the Normandy format talks have happened between the France and Russia, and under these Normandy format talks, French president had reached to the Russia and had asked them that please soften your position onto the Ukraine and please join the Minsk agreement of 2014 and 15 that we have tried to renegotiate way back then. Okay, and Russia said that okay, we can think on that particular thing. So already this development we have taken. So now because there was a Normandy format talks that had happened, Russia is now saying that okay, we are convinced that we should not attack on the Ukraine, and they had said that there are no plans to invade the Ukraine. Is it clear or not? But can we trust that what the Russia is saying is completely true, that they will not be attacking onto the Ukraine? Okay, there is a problem. What is the problem here? Now just focus onto this particular map. Okay, now what is going on here, you can just see. Okay, now more than 1,30,000 of Russian troops, okay, they are surrounding the Ukraine on the three sides of Ukraine. More than 1,30,000 of the troops are there. Now what these 1,30,000 troops are doing if they don't want to attack the Ukraine? This is one particular thing that has been that has been there. Moreover, guys, now the USA had said that the Russia might play smart. What Russia is now going to do? See, understand this particular thing. Okay, now here, guys, this is a particular part of the Ukraine. This territory is the part of the Ukraine, and this territory is Donbas territory. Now in this Donbas territory there are the pro-Russian separatists that are very much powerful. Now these pro-Russian separatists want that the Ukraine should be made the part of the Russia. So the Donbas region is actually pro-Russian. It is pro-Russian. Now basically the USA had given a warning to the Ukraine, and USA have provided this particular thing that Russia had said that we will not attack, but it means that Russia will attack when there will be the escalation that will happen, and it has been said that Russia can maliciously manufacture the escalation. Now guys, there is one particular concept, that is the concept of the false flag operations. There is a concept of the false flag operation. Now what is this false flag operation? I told you already that this is the Donbas region, which is controlled by the pro-Russians. Now they might carry a kind of an attack against the Russia, okay, or they might create some problem in the region, okay, and Russia will take this as an excuse that actually Ukraine has done this particular thing. Now false flag attack means that you will be taking some different identity and will be carrying an attack. Now it has happened many a times into the past. Is it clear or not? For example, the invasion of Manchuria happened onto the basis of the false flag attack. Now the false flag attack, it simply will be like this, that here certain people who are the pro-Russians only, they will carry a minor attack against the Russia, and they will show that okay, we are the Ukrainians, and Russia will use this particular excuse. They will say that okay, now you Ukrainians have attacked first, so now we will be attacking. So deliberately they can manufacture an attack, okay, so in order to start the escalation. So this is something that has been the threat. Now guys, as all this particular thing is is going on, every day there is a lot of new developments that are coming. Now everyday development you need not to see. Now it has been said that actually if we see today, if any attack will be carried by Russia against the Ukraine, then there will be the severe sanctions that will be imposed onto the Russia for that particular thing. Now actually Russian economy is better positioned and they can actually bear the sanctions for some time. But the problem that is coming is that even if Russia attacks the Ukraine and involves a friendly regime into the Ukraine, can after that particular thing it can manage this particular development, because even in Ukraine almost 50% of the people, they don't want any Russia's interference. So basically affording this particular invasion is a kind of a problematic thing. Now Germany here is playing a very important role. Now guys, Germany is a very important player. See, number one, Germany is the member of NATO. Number two guys, what has happened, Germany is Europe's largest economy, and number three, Germany is the destination for two of the Russian gas pipelines, that is the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. Both of them already we have discussed. So this Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipeline, they are supplying the gas to the Germany, and Germany gives a lot of money to the Russia for that particular thing. Now what Germany has said, Germany had warned the Russia that if it invades the Ukraine, then basically the Germany will also be coming out with the sanctions, and the Germany will not be carrying forward this gas agreement that has been there. So this is something which might control the Russia. Moreover, at the same time, Germany had also warned the Western countries that the other countries need to be sensitive towards the Russia's security concern, and they have said that please don't send the German-made weapons to be used against the Russia, and they have raised the German concern or the Russian concern also. So this is guys the entire development that has coming now into this particular thing. Now India is coming under the pressure. How India is coming under the pressure? Understand this particular thing guys, that basically what has happened up till now, India has not taken any strict position onto this particular development. Neither India had said that Russia is wrong and we condemn the Russia, nor India had said that we are completely supporting the West and the NATO. India is just saying this particular thing, that we are in the favor of the bilateral solution for this particular thing. We are in the favor of the bilateral solution. Okay, this is something because guys, you know, USA as well as Russia both are the important partners. USA as well as Russia both are the important partners of India. With the USA we are cooperating into the Quad, and with the Russia is our defense supplier. Okay, S-400 missile system we are procuring from the Russia. BrahMos missile, there is a joint collaboration of India and Russia. So India is in a sticky position, and a pressure is coming on India that you take one side. India says that no, we don't want to take any side. Now guys, basically the Minister of External Affairs, he is going to attend the annual Munich security conference, and there he will also face such kind of pressure. But please don't go into such kind of a hairline detail, okay, because many of such kind of a conferences happen. The important ones are important. So India is actually in a sticky situation. That is all about this particular development, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Okay, anti-lynching bills passed by 4 states hanging fire. Now this particular article will be important in GS paper number 2, law and order issues. GS paper number 2, law and order issues. Now basically, when we talk about guys, over the past few years, the lynching incidents have increased a lot. Lynching incident is one where a mob or a group of people is killing some another person on the account that he had disrespected the religion, or that person had some other ulterior agenda. So a mob killing another person, it is an incident of lynching. Now it has been said that over the past few years, the lynching incidents have increased a lot, and particularly the vigilantism, religious polarization, etc. are leading to these lynching incidents. Now against this particular lynching, there are many of the state assemblies that are passing the bills. First of all guys, when we talk about the lynching, in 2017, the National Crime Record Bureau, they collected the data on the lynching incidents, okay, on the mob lynching incidents, hate crimes, cow vigilantism. But up till now, this report has not been published, and even that particular work has been discontinued. It has been said that lynching is not a different kind of an offense. Okay, it is not specifically mentioned in the IPC. It is not specifically mentioned onto the IPC. So collecting such kind of a data is a useless exercise. They have suspended it. Now guys, when we talk about the lynching, Understand first of all what are the bills that have passed the anti-lynching bill. The Jharkhand has passed the anti-lynching bill, the Manipur has passed anti-lynching bill, West Bengal has passed anti-lynching bill, Rajasthan has basically working on to the anti-lynching bill. Is it clear or not? Now every state is coming out with the fine, the punishment. Now you don't need to go and see every state's fine and punishment that they have come out with. No, not needed to go there. Now what had happened basically, as these anti-lynching bills have been passed, now basically these bills have been reserved by the governor. Now particularly for two of the states, that is the Manipur and the Rajasthan, the legislature passed that particular bill, but the bill is reserved by the governor, and governor had said that I will send this bill for the consideration of the president. Is it clear? For the consideration of the president, and president will decide whether the assent is to be given or not. But up till now no decision has been taken onto these particular bills. Now why the decision is not being taken onto these anti-lynching bill? Understand what union government has said. Union government has said that the lynching is not defined as a crime under the Indian Penal Code. There are the section 300, section 302, which pertains to the murder. Okay, under that only the lynching can be covered. No specific offense is there onto the lynching, and when the lynching is a specific offense is not there, how the anti-lynching bill can be made? So first of all, if these anti-lynching bills are to be passed, first of all, within the IPC Indian Penal Code, we need to create a new offense of lynching. We need to create a new offense of the lynching. Now in the past the Supreme Court has asked the government that you create a new offense for lynching. The government had said that okay, we are exploring that particular thing, but up till now nothing has happened into this particular direction, and therefore the anti-lynching bill, they are lying in the air. Nothing had happened in this direction. So this is all guys about this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. Okay, so this is the entire issue. Now we'll be moving to the next article. Crowdfunding portal awaits CSR push. Now this particular article is very much important. GS paper number 2 social justice, GS paper number 2 social justice, and GS paper number 4 ethics. This article will be very much important. Now understand guys, first of all the background. Okay, now the background is like this guys, that there are rare diseases that are there. Now the rare diseases are the ones which impact very less number of people. Okay, one person out of 1 lakh, okay, or very such less number of people will be infected with the rare diseases. Now because they are rare, the medicines are either not available or the treatment are very much expensive, and even all the hospitals are not able to give that particular treatment. Only very few hospitals are able to give the treatment. Is it clear? So treatment is expensive, treatment is limited, because the rare disease, they affect very less number of people. Now guys, but the people who are suffering with this rare disease, we need to obviously save all of them. It doesn't matter whether less people are there or more people are there, because the German philosopher Immanuel Kant has said that the human are end in themselves. Every human life is important. So this is something that is going on. Now guys, actually to help the people who are suffering with these rare diseases, the National Policy on Rare Disease 2021 was notified. And under this National Rare Disease Policy of 2021, the policy provided that an innovative crowdfunding mechanism can be explored. What is this? First of all, the crowdfunding mechanism. Now crowdfunding mechanism is that we can ask the people we can ask the companies, we can ask the different corporates that please donate some money, and the money which will be donated by this particular initiative, that money can be used to treat the people who are suffering from these rare diseases. So this crowdfunding initiative was envisaged. It was said that the corporate sector, individuals can donate into this particular thing. Now guys, this particular thing started. Now if I tell you the cost that is actually the money that is needed to treat the rare diseases, that guys, from 10 lakh to 1 crore each year expense for the entire life can be there on one patient. So a lot of money is needed to treat these people with the rare diseases. But now this crowdfunding portal has become operational already in August 2021, but guys, up till now total around 72,000 money has been collected into the last 6 months. Now because of this particular funding, the centers of excellence who actually provide the treatment for the rare disease, they are not able to begin the treatment, and the people are suffering from the rare disease. The money has not simply flown. What it shows? It shows the lack of compassion. It shows the lack of compassion, okay, against such a people. Now there are certain problems that are there which, if can be rectified, it can bring a lot of benefit. See, number one, guys, why people and the corporate are not yeah, donating the money here. Now there is the lack of tax benefit under the 80G of the Income Tax Act, and because of this people are not donating. Now see, let's say I am earning the 10 lakh rupees, okay. Now this 10 lakh rupees, okay, after taking up some deductions that are there, okay, let's say that the 8 lakh rupees, just a hypothetical amount, let's say 8 lakh rupees is my taxable income. Now there are certain organizations, certain causes, if I donate money there, then I can claim the income tax deductions, okay. And many of the charity organizations, if you donate, you claim the income tax deductions. Now if a person is donating for the crowdfunding here, there is no income tax benefit that are being given, and because income tax benefit are not there, people many a times are not motivated to donate the money here. So it has been suggested that what we can do, first of all, we can give the income tax benefits to the people who are donating under this crowdfunding. Second thing has been provided that, guys, actually the ONGC, Oil India Limited, IOC, they have requested the government that you please allow that if the corporate is giving the money for this particular initiative, then it can be counted as the CSR expenditure. CSR expenditure, corporate social responsibility expenditure. Now under the CSR regimes, the corporate which are actually having either the profit of 5 crore rupees or more, or the net worth of profit of 5 crore or more, or the net worth of a 500 crore or more, or the turnover of 1000 crore and more, fine. So the profit of 5 crore or more, net worth of 500 crore or more, and turnover of 1000 crore or more, fine. Any one of condition, if it a corporate is fulfilling, then they have to give mandatorily 2% of their profit in the CSR, fine. So please count the funding, the money that is being given here as a CSR expenditure, then corporates will be more motivated and they will give more and more money for such kind of initiative. So there is something that should be done in this particular capacity. So that is all, guys, about this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. Now these suggestions can be given as the way forward by you, okay. These both the suggestions that we have discussed can be given as the way forward in the answer if it is coming. That is all about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. India has positive secularism, petitioners tell Karnataka High Court. Okay, now guys, see this particular thing. Every day this particular development is going on with respect to the positive secularism. Okay, guys, even in this particular capacity, there are day-to-day development that is going on. Now understand this particular thing, that in one of such kind of a argument, it has been said that India has the positive secularism. Now actually there are the two types of secularisms that are there. Two types of secularism that is there, that is the negative secularism and the positive secularism. Negative secularism, here all the religions, they will be deterred, they none of them can showcase their religion into the public place. Is it clear or not? That is the negative secularism, okay. Other is the positive secularism. In positive secularism, all the religions will be given the equal opportunity that they can profess, practice, propagate their religion openly into the public. Everybody will be given the equality. All the religion can do that particular thing. When we talk about the India has this positive type of secularism. Is it clear? Where every religion is entitled to express freely their religion until and unless it is coming against the public order, morality, decency. Now India's secularism is actually based on the idea of the Sarva Dharma Sambhav. Sarva Dharma Sambhav means that all the religions, they can exist together at the same time. And because the Sarva Dharma Sambhav idea is followed here, India should allow even the wearing of the hijab to the girls, fine, because wearing a hijab is just their way to express their religion, and as India allows every religion such kind of possibility, we should allow it. Is it clear? That is something that has been there. Okay, just guys, one more thing I want to tell you here. See, I told you that we take the Indian Express explained section also, but understand this particular thing. Sometimes in the Indian Express explained sections, the relevant articles are not there, and therefore on those days I don't take the Indian Express explained section. Even in that particular capacity, if I show you the today's Indian Express explained section, this article is talking about the Ravi Dasa identity. So what had happened recently, the Ravi Das Jayanti was there, okay, and on because of the Ravi Das Jayanti, Punjab Assembly polls were deferred. So, what is the Ravidas Jayanti? Now, academically, nothing is there with respect to the examination. Then, constitutional provision for curbing the freedom. This particular article is talking about this hijab controversy that is going on. Now, Karnataka High Court is hearing this particular case. Every day, one liner, okay, the one party said this, one party said that. This is coming. So, every day's development is not at all needed. We have already taken up this particular article first of all, and then when it will be concluded again, then we have to see. Then after that, the Lalu's Fodder scam is being just talked about. Okay, so none of the article is important. So on the days when the articles are not important, I don't take this particular explained section. So understand that particular thing. Only when academically important articles are there, they will be taken up. Okay, so just a clarification. Now moving on to the next article. So setting right the focal point for J&K tribal politics. Now first of all, you don't need to go too much into the detail that how many tribal people, what is their population, in which area they are living. No, that much of minuscule analysis is not important. The broader picture we are going to see, it will be important for the GS paper number 2, the social justice and development, as well as the electoral politics. It will be important. Now let's understand that what is provided into this particular article. So first of all, the background. Now if you remember, just a few days back we have seen this particular thing, that the delimitation commission of Jammu and Kashmir had submitted its report, and into the report it has provided that some additional seats are to be given to the Jammu and Kashmir. Now delimitation commission is a very high powered body which actually fixes the constituencies into the state. It fixes the parliamentary constituencies, it also fixes the state legislative constituencies. Now you already know that the article 370 was diluted, and after that Jammu and Kashmir became the union territory. Now for the Jammu and Kashmir union territory, the elections were to be organized, so the constituencies were to be identified. So delimitation commission had given the report and had told the number of constituencies that should be there into the Jammu and Kashmir. Already that development we have taken. Now guys, as the Jammu and Kashmir delimitation commission had submitted its report, it has proposed the increase of 6 seats in the Jammu and 1 seat in the Kashmir province. Now already on this point there was a controversy that we have seen, because it has been said that actually the population of Kashmir is far more than the Jammu, and why only 1 seat is given to the Kashmir. That was something it has said that it is not fair. Now coming to this particular article, so the article is said that basically now as the seats have been delimited, what has happened for the first time, basically the scheduled tribes have been given some reserved seats. Now before that the scheduled caste were given the seats, but not the scheduled tribe. For the first time this particular year, the scheduled tribe actually have been given the seat. This particular thing has been provided. Now guys, it has been provided that actually the constitution has given the guarantees to the tribes, scheduled tribes, under the article 332, and there are some of the significant tribes that are there into the Jammu and Kashmir, such as the Gujjars, Bakarwals, Gaddis, Sippis. They have been granted the scheduled tribe status earlier, but never they have been given their reserved seats. It was their constitutional right, and there is a large number of discrimination that has happened with these tribals. Now by giving them the reserved seats, fine, the scheduled tribe will get a fair share, and they can actually come. Okay, just a minute, and they can just a minute. Okay, and then they can meaningfully participate into the elections there. So this particular thing has been provided in this article. Now further moving on, it has been provided that actually when the article 370 was there, article 370 has been many times used as a reason that the tribals into the Jammu and Kashmir, they have not been given the reserved seats. The Forest Rights Act of 2006, which provides a lot of protection to the tribals, okay, it provides them the land ownership, it provides the community community rights, it was not extended. Okay, so the denial had happened. Now it has been provided that now this particular thing is about to change, but the article says that there are certain other ground realities also that are needed to be taken into the account. We also need to increase the awareness for the tribal people. We also need to increase the awareness of the tribal people with respect to the political rights they are having, because if they will not be aware, obviously they cannot use it. Second thing that has been there is that there are the political, social, economic empowerment that is to be done, particularly of the women, because if the empowerment of women is not there, women who can play a very important role in the politics, they cannot come forward. So along with the giving of the reservation, empowerment is something which is very much important. Is it clear? Then this is about it. And now moving to the next article, pathology of school closure in India. So we have seen this particular thing, that the schools have been closed, okay, and it has a huge impact onto the children's health, children's learning, and children's psychology. So this article is introspecting that particular thing. The article will be important for GS paper number 2, issues related to the education. Clear? Now the article says that India had seen the longest school closure. The schools have been closed for more than 82 weeks in India. Okay, this has happened. Now the article is further talking about that because of the misinformation that the children are susceptible, the school closures have happened. Now basically it has been said that actually government, what it has done, government has also taken certain steps. For example, the union budget of 2022-2023, which has just recently been released, they had said that because of the pandemic, the education, the learning had got impacted. They say that we are coming out with one class, one TV channel program, Pradhan Mantri E-Vidya. Now under the Pradhan Mantri E-Vidya, 12 television channels that were there, they will be expanded to 200 channels. They will impart the supplementary teaching. Now it has been provided that actually as the schools have been closed, number one, the education of the children got suffered. Secondly, what had happened, the secondly, what has happened, actually children's socialization also got suffered. When they go to the school, they learn the behavior, they learn emotional sensitivity, or all such kind of things. It has been suffered. Now the response of the government has been just to focus on the completion of syllabus. Even the online education that is going on, online education focuses on to the completion of syllabus, nothing more than that. So therefore the article suggests that there is a need to adopt the PERI approach. Now what is this PERI approach? PERI approach, it stands for prepare, engage, reimagine, and innovate. Now understanding them one by one. Number one, prepare. Okay, so prepare, we need to prepare for the continuity of the school education. We need to develop a roadmap, we need to develop a strategies that how to avoid the disruptions. Even if the successive waves of the COVID-19 is coming, we should not first close the school. We need to avoid this disruption that has been there. There is a need of a decentralized plan. Okay, obviously if the cases are increasing, not every district, every block at the same time sees an increase in case. Sometimes certain blocks are there where the cases are less. So on to the block level, district level, the decisions are to be taken whether the schools are to be closed or not. So prepare for avoiding the disruption, for continuity of the school education. Second is engage. Now engage means we need to engage with parents, okay, other stakeholders, and we need to raise awareness that how the schools are very much important for the holistic development of the child. Fine, for the health, for the socialization, for the education, for everything, schools are very important. Then the third is we need to reimagine. We need to reimagine that how the schools, they can be made more safe. Improved ventilation needs to be there, blended learning methods needed to be there, so that the children who got suffered, how they can be helped. We need to come out with a special initiative. Okay, socio-political engagement is to be done. Every child who got impacted is to be provided the education. Okay, so reimagination is needed. And then we need to innovate. We need to innovate, okay, the curriculum. We need to innovate the teaching methods in order to make up for the learning loss. This is something that has been there. So guys, just if a question is coming, we can use such kind of acronyms, PERI approach and all such kind of things. Okay, so PERI approach, SCL approach, such kind of acronyms gives a kind of a good appeal and presentation to your answer. That is all about this article. Now we'll move to the next article. Okay, now the importance of caste data. This article will be important in our GS paper number 2. GS paper number 2, social justice, affirmative action, reservation. Okay, now understand this particular thing. First of all, okay, in this particular direction, there is also one comment that has come. Is reservation a boon or bane? There is no one answer that is reservation only a boon or a bane, and only you need to take a balanced approach in this particular thing. If reservation is being carried in a right manner with the due course of just application, then the reservation can remove the disparities that are existing in the society. It can bring the equity into the society. But if the reservation policy is not well thought of, it is not encompassing the abuse that can be there, then it can bring some kind of problems also. Is it clear or not? So not one answer is there. Fine. Now the Supreme Court recently, guys, basically when we talk about the reservation policy, one development has happened into the past. This is the background. What development had happened? We have seen this particular thing that under the All India quota. Now All India quota is basically a scheme. All India quota scheme was there. Now understand this particular thing, that different states, they have the medical colleges in their state. Now states have provided that the admission here will be given to their own students. Domicile based admission system was there. Now under this All India quota, it was provided that when the admissions are to be given for the medical colleges, you also give some reservation to the outside states. Some outside states. Is it clear? So outside state students got allowed. Then it was said that when the students are coming from the outside state, within that the reservation should be given to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe. And recently the reservation for OBC was also asked into this All India quota category. Now that particular thing was challenged. Supreme Court actually heard that particular case and upheld the 27% quota that was given for the OBCs in this All India quota seats in the NEET examination for the medical seats. It allowed, and it provided a very good observation. It said that it provided that the reservation for backward classes were not an exception but an extension to the principle of equality under the article number 15 of the Constitution. So equality is not an exception, it is an extension. Now this article had the judgment of the Supreme Court has also highlighted that how many times the open competitive examination might give just an illusion that they are providing the equal opportunity, but actually equal opportunity is not there. This is something that has been provided. Now guys, basically when we talk about the Constituent Assembly that was formed to make the Constitution of India, Constituent Assembly also have this philosophy that when we are introducing it has the same philosophy that actually the lower sections or the sections which are deprived, they are needed to be given some kind of extra benefit. Okay, lower caste were to be given some kind of focus. That thing was provided. Now and we come out with the concept of reservation. But over the years there is a lot of politicization of the reservation that had happened, and in this politicization of reservation, the political parties, what they are doing, every year they are making a promise that okay, if we come to power we will provide the reservation. Now when they are promising the reservation, they are actually not having any data that which communities are backward, who need reservation, who don't need reservation, and even the government is not having that data. So this particular article is suggesting that now what we need to do, we need to come out with the socio-economic caste census. We need to come out with a socio-economic caste census, or we need to come out with the caste data. What is this caste data? See, we don't know that how many people belonging to which caste are there, and how many caste actually need the reservation. So we need to have a kind of a caste data in which we will be recording that how many backward caste are there, and how many people are there into those of the caste. Now already for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, there are certain there is the data, because in the census that is organized after every 10 years, the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe data is there, but for the backward caste data is not there. Actually in 2011 the attempt was made, and in 2011 the socio-economic caste census was conducted also, but it has been called as faulty and unreliable by the government. Clear? So therefore right now today on the backwardness we don't have any data. Now guys, basically the Supreme Court is also into the past has provided that we need to collect the caste data. For example, into the Indra Sahani case, the Supreme Court provided this thing that backwardness, when we are talking about it, backwardness can be declared or can be assessed only after the proper data, proper objective evaluation that we are having. So therefore we need to have some data. Moreover, the National Commission for Backward Classes Act 1993 also provided the section 11 into this act, and the section 11 provided that central government at every 10 year should review that which caste, which backward caste are to be removed and which new backward caste are to be added. Just a minute. Okay, so this particular thing was provided, and to remove the caste and to add the new caste, what you need to have? You need to have the data. So we should come out with the data. Now the article says that actually the census that should be was to be taken in 2021 was not taken because of the pandemic. Now it will take place in 2022. If possible, come out with the specific data of the caste also, so that the reservation policies can be made more objective, can be designed in a more proper coherent manner. This is something that has been provided into this particular article. So that is all guys about it, and now we'll move to the next article. Now this article, India to make digital maps for all villages. So e-governance, with respect to the e-governance GS2, this particular article will be important. E-governance GS paper number 2. Now understand this particular thing guys, that there is an idea that we need to make the digital maps for the rural area as well as for the urban area. How this digital map will be helping? See, I have told you this particular thing, that land titles are actually disputed, land parcels are disputed, ownership is not very much clear. Now making the digital maps and digitally identifying the land parcels and then attaching those land parcels to the specific person, what it will lead to? It will lead to the digitization of land records. And when the digitization of land record will happen, many of the land disputes etc. in future will not be coming. Is it clear? Now guys, what had happened? Actually there is some background that I want to tell. Actually last year government updated their geospatial policy guidelines, and into this geospatial policy guidelines that government updated, government provided that now the private companies, they can prepare the variety of maps of the rural areas, urban areas, digital maps they can prepare, and they don't need approval from the ministries or approval from the government. They can prepare the digital maps. They can say that even for preparing these maps they can use the drones. Okay, this is actually provided. Fine. Now guys, what had happened? India is planning that more than 6 lakh digital maps for the villages as well as the pan India 3D maps for more than 100 cities will be prepared. And as these digital maps will be prepared, these digital maps will be helping efficient forest management, disaster management, electrical utilities, for the land records, for the water distribution, property taxation. These digital maps can be used. So this is something that has been provided. Now as we are talking about the basically digital mapping, so guys, into this particular thing already there is one scheme of the government that is going on, the scheme by the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, and this scheme is the Swamitwa scheme, which stands for the survey of village and mapping with improvised technology in village areas. Under this Swamitwa scheme, what will be done? The land parcels, okay, they will be identified using the drone technology, and basically by making the digital maps, by identifying the land parcels, the record of the rights, the land will be used. Now this is something that the development has happened. So over the next coming few years there will be a lot of digitization of maps that is going to happen, because Swamitwa scheme is there, then the updated geospatial policy guidelines have come, and then even the Ministry of Civil Aviation has directed the different ministries that they should use the drone technology for the different purpose. So for this particular thing, a lot of digital map data etc. is being generated. So that is all guys about this particular development. So that is all for the today's newspaper analysis. Guys, I hope that you have understood it and you are liking the initiative. So that is all for the today. Now we'll be meeting tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves, and if you are liking, please do like the video, please do comment, and please do answer all the MCQs that I have asked.